Let me first start by saying I'd like to thank the Samueli family, Michael Schulman, Aaron Tietz, for their support and the backing of this process. And I'd like to welcome Joel's wife, Elizabeth, better known as Boo, and his daughter Anna, who are here today, and the Ducks in attendance, Ryan Strome, Frank Vertrano, and Troy Terry. Today is a great day for the Ducks. Naming Joel Quenneville as our head coach represents the next phase of our team development. Our goal is to make the playoffs, and I believe Joel is the guy to take us there. To give you a little perspective, when Joel joined Chicago back in the first time he joined Chicago, he had a young and very talented and very raw team. And when Joel and I got together, I believe that this team provides very similar circumstances, and we see the same similarities. When Joel went to Florida, he had just a touch older team, but he had a team that was on the precipice of being a perennial contender. Joel will be instrumental, in my opinion, in helping us get to our ultimate goal, which is the Stanley Cup. Before we continue, I'd like to review with how the steps that were taken to get here. This was a thorough and meticulous process. What happened to Kyle Beach in 2010 was both shocking and unacceptable. As an organization, we approached this with the utmost care and due diligence. Our executive team, myself included, spoke with many individuals about Joel and his role in what transpired in 2010. We spoke with NHL leadership, which last July officially cleared Joel to be able to come back into the NHL. We spoke with advocates for positive change in hockey and those in and around Joel who worked with Joel, amongst others. And finally, we spoke with Kyle Beach, whose courage and character throughout this continues to inspire us all. While the specifics of those conversations will remain private out of respect of the process, I want to emphasize those conversations along with the time we spent with Joel and through our thorough review of this matter led us to this decision today. Joel acknowledged that his response in 2010 was inadequate. He recognizes the failing to ask further questions and that not following up and taking action were serious mistakes. In nearly 4 years away from the game, he has demonstrated sincere remorse and has bettered himself by participating in a number of programs focused on education, personal growth, and improving his understanding of abuse prevention and response. Joel has paid a price and has faced the consequences. And after careful deliberation and consultation with so many, we believe he has taken the necessary steps to return to the game as the head coach of the Anaheim Ducks. Regarding the coaching search, I've interviewed a number of successful coaches. It was encouraging to see the number of strong candidates that viewed this as a great opportunity. On a personal note, I've known Joel since I was 18 years old. We were teammates in New Jersey and then again in Hartford. I know Joel is a man of character. We have a long history, and I know who Joel is as a person. He's the second winningest coach in the NHL history, including 4 Stanley Cups, 3 as head coach, 1 as an assistant. He knows how to win. He knows how to get the best of his players. His coaching resume speaks for itself. We feel he's the right coach to lead us to our ultimate goal, the Stanley Cup. I know Joel will earn the trust of our fans, partners, staff, and the surrounding hockey community. I believe that we are getting the best version of Joel Quenneville, not only as a person, but as a coach. So it was with great pleasure, Joel, and my honor to formally introduce Joel Quenneville as the next head coach of the Anaheim Ducks.
Well, thank you. I want to begin by expressing my gratitude to the Samueli family, Mike Schulman, Aaron Tietz, Pat Verbeek, for believing in me and trusting me to lead the Ducks. I'm humbled. I'm excited to be here today. I want to thank my family. My wife is here along with my daughter Anna, along with Dylan and Lily, who are not here today, for your support and being here as well. I want to thank Gary Bettman, Bill Daly, Kim Davis, Colin Campbell at the NHL for their help and guidance. Before I talk about how excited I am to be here, I'd like to say a few words about what happened in 2010. As Pat said, what happened to Kyle Beach was horrific and inexcusable. I was sick to my stomach when I learned what had taken place. Had I known what had happened, I would have taken swift action. I own my mistakes. While I believe wholeheartedly the issue was handled by management, I take full responsibility for not following up and asking more questions. That's entirely on me. Over nearly 4 years, I've taken time to reflect, to listen to experts and advocates, and to educate myself on the realities of abuse, trauma, and how to be a better leader. I hope others can learn from my inaction. I've spoken to Kyle more than once, including this morning. I've apologized to him and expressed how much I regret not following up and taking action. I had to be more aggressive at that time. I fully understand and accept that those who question my return to the league. I know words aren't enough. I will demonstrate my actions that I am a man of character. We'll be a team this community can be proud of, both on and off the ice. This is my promise. I am so excited to be back in the NHL, and the Ducks are the team I wanted to restart my career with. Great ownership, great management, one of the most exciting young cores in the NHL. We have current players, veteran, young, and even more that'll play in the NHL in the near future. One of our top priorities will be to ensure player and staff well-being, and we will make this a safe place both on and off the ice. That includes here in Anaheim and in San Diego. Rest assured, you'll be welcome here, and your safety will be a priority from top to bottom. I am humbled and deeply grateful for the opportunity to return to the game I love, and I can't wait to get started.
All right, thank you. Okay, we will take questions. Please raise your hand. Eric Stevens.
Hi, Joel.
Hi.
Welcome to Anaheim.
Thank you.
As you mentioned, you've spoken with Kyle Beach on more than one occasion here. At all in those conversations, and I can respect that you want to keep them private, but at all did you feel like you needed to get his blessing before returning to the game? And do you feel like this is a opportunity for redemption for you?
I spoke to Kyle many conversations. They're all productive conversations. We won't get into the details of our conversations, but like most of the conversations on the end of I thought today's was like the other ones. They're all good conversations, good talks, and that's how he's been. It's been a healthy process for both of us, and we're happy with where we're at today.
Given your obvious credentials, there will be many who feel like you are deserving of a second chance here or another opportunity to coach again in the NHL. There will be many who feel like you never deserve another chance, whether with Anaheim or another team. What would you say to those who don't feel like you deserve this opportunity?
It's understandable. I understand people feel that way. As a team and as an organization myself, I think we want to make sure that we're going to do everything we can, and I'm going to do everything we can to change those people's mind by how we act, by our actions, get in the community, on and off the ice, that we're going to be aware of what we learned and how we got educated over these years, and we're looking to apply those lessons.
Greg Beecham?
Hey, Pat, can you tell us what it is about Joel that made it so important to hire him for this job and overlook or to get around all the other stuff that we've been talking about here?
Well, I think the easy answer to that is obviously his coaching pedigree and winning that's the easy one. I think when I really boiled it down, what the decision that really made it feel right was, as I alluded to, when he took over Chicago, how young that team, how raw that team, and how talented they were. I feel we're in that same predicament as the same team that he took over. And I watched, because I was scouting at that particular time, and I watched that team grow and I watched it develop, and I was impressed with how the young kids really took big steps to improve and to become impact players. As to the end of your question, going through this process, this meticulous process that we talked about, I feel comfortable with what we were able to find out and what we discovered. It gave our entire organization the comfort that we needed to be able to move forward and take this team as far as winning and becoming a winning organization to the next level.
Joel, congratulations, welcome.
Thank you.
How have you changed as a person since 2021 in the broadest terms? Not even just hockey, just in general.
Well, I've since the first day I returned from the commissioner's office, I met a man that day. It's here today. Is a friend of mine, Chris Jensen, and he started on the education of the process over the 4 years. That every day that it's a new day, and I'm going to learn more to better myself and learn how to handle situations that we went through, what survivors are going to have gone through, how they heal, and he's here today. Chris, thank you for coming. Jensen, who's in the front here, and been a friend over those 4 years, and we had several dinners, several lunches, and that education was led by him in a lot of ways. There's a number of people, I got a list here, I'd like to at least say that I spent some time with and have been influential over the 4 years and helped me improve as a person. And I'm sure it's going to make me not only hopefully help me a better coach and as a better person as well. You want to hear those names right now of the people I've educated? It's a long list, but I could talk later about those if you'd like.
Jim Alexander?
Hey, Joel. Pat alluded to the similarities between the Blackhawks when you took over and this roster. Can you kind of expound on that, of what you know about this roster and the personnel?
Well, been a long time since I went to an NHL game, but the first game I went to almost 4 years was in Anaheim, played in Tampa Bay recently, and I was at the game. And I hadn't seen Tampa live in a long time, but I certainly hadn't seen much of Anaheim. And I watched the game. I was thoroughly impressed at the pace of the game and the skill and the speed that Anaheim had. And they're all young kids, and they're going to be. It was a great game to watch. They lost in overtime, but it was I was surprised and I was impressed. Then everywhere I go in hockey lately, everybody says, the place to go. Everybody's saying Anaheim. They got what you had in Chicago. And I'm sitting there, well, I know I was the most fortunate coach walking in the day in Chicago, but I certainly feel that this team is on the right track of being there. And, you got a lot of young kids that got some speed, got some skill. We've got some ingredients that we feel that we can make them better as well. But these are competitive kids that we want to make sure that we grow an identity earlier on in the season. And fulfilling that on a day-to-day basis is going to be what we're all about.
And Pat, this one's for you. What are some of the traits that led you to believe Joel's the guy, that Joel's the guy that can kickstart this team?
Well, I think it probably happened on the second time that we met. The first time we met was over dinner, and we had long discussions about other things. The next day we talked about hockey, and we went over video, and I was impressed with the details, the little details of how, to play better defense, how to control the puck, how to become a puck possession team. And I think those things, until you really get into it on a day-to-day with coaches and you sit down and talk, you never know the coaches' methods of how they go about teaching. And I was impressed with that. Obviously, you can look back on what Pat Kane did. You can look back on Duncan Keith. You can look back on Seabrook, Jonathan Taves, Corey Crawford. You can look at all those impact young players, and they had a few more. But if you look at those guys became stars, and that was what really helped me decide Joel was the right guy for the job.
Go ahead, Zach.
Hi, Joel. Zach Kavanaugh with the Sporting Tribune. You mentioned that you had the list there. I think it would be good for everyone to hear here, just out loud, who you've worked with over this time to better yourself and sort of what you've learned from those organizations or those advocates over the time.
Thank you. And thank you for the players for being here today. Thanks, guys. Chris Jensen will lead that list, and Kim Davis in the NHL, Cheryl Garza, who is a lawyer in this area with sexual abuse and sexual abuse, assault, and abuse victims. Hockey for Use, a group that we worked with, started when I met him at the Carnegie Institute. That Hockey for Use is a program we launched our Windsor program 2 years ago. Mo Hashem leads that efforts, and Laura leads the Windsor program that we're proud to be a part of. Christine Lang, a behavioral psychologist, spent a lot of time with her. AHL coaches and all the GMs, NHL coaches and all the GMs. The Respect Group, US Safe Sport, Bryant McBride, ex-NHL executive, the Carnegie Initiative, Brock McGillis, a former Windsor Spitfire like myself, Antonio Blake, Brian Burke, Connor Scott Zeke Foundation for Mental Health and Substance Abuse for Adolescents, who is a very close and near and dear to our family. I got to give my son some credit, Dylan, for doing a lot of this stuff. And what do you call him, Chris? The handler? Yeah, okay, thank you.
And then for Pat and Joel, going forward, I think there's plenty of fans that have opinions about what's going on here, but one way to reach out maybe would be to set up some sort of connection with local advocacy groups for sexual abuse survivors or sexual assault survivors. Are there any plans within the organization or for Joel to do that?
Yes, there is actually, and I could, we certainly could probably elaborate on that. We haven't made all the connections right just yet, but yeah, absolutely, that is our plans for for Joel to and myself to kind of become really involved in that aspect moving ahead. Yes.
Eric?
It's a question for Pat. Pat, obviously you've laid out reasons why you hired Joel, and as you mentioned, you talked to several different candidates. You could have gone in another direction if you wanted to, and maybe not for lack of better words, court what came around Joel and hire him. You could have done that. You obviously went with Joel. What did you have concerns about the blowback that may come with hiring Joel?
Eric, I thought about that for a long time. But what I kept coming back to is the process that we went through, and the comprehensive review. And when I was comfortable with that, I was able to take it to ownership, and we were able to, present all of that. And I think once we were comfortable with that, the hockey part of it was real easy. And so, yes, I think it would have been easy to kind of push that aside, but it's my job, to find the best coach for our team, and I believe that I have found the best coach for this team.
Derek Lee? Pat, when you spoke after you let Crow go, you spoke about how there's a culture of accountability being built here and continuing to be built in Anaheim. How does Joel fit into that culture?
Well, I think he's going to build upon that foundation that's already been laid by Greg Cronin. I believe a really good foundation has been laid, and certainly Joel is going to build upon that, and that's what I'm excited about.
And then Joel, you've spoken about how you've taken steps to become a better leader over the last 3 years. What specifically kind of steps have you taken in that regard?
Well, some of the things, some of the people I spoke about and mentioned their names of learning to be a better person. Basically, the life lessons that I learned about what survivors go through at every walk and every step, that no matter who the person was that was spending time and educating me, that across the board, I got good life lessons of how to apply them going forward. And that's an everyday thing. And surrounded by a lot of good people here in Anaheim. We want to get part of in the community. We want to be, it's important to us how we are on and off the ice, how we're involved in the community, and sharing our message and applying what I learned. And if I could help anybody, be it in the community. And part of my other process was hopefully coaches learned from what I went through and my inactions. They can learn from that as well.
Go ahead, Eric.
Yeah, Joel, with your resume over here, Joel. With your resume, you could have simply sat back and rested on that, frankly. So what makes you want to get back in this and put yourself back out there and do what you've done?
Well, this is a team I wanted to go to. This is a great opportunity to be back in the game I love. I'll get back to the similarities that were in Chicago, but there's a lot of things that you don't like about this place, and there's a lot of things you love about it, and we're probably going to end up at the love. So it's we're really looking forward to moving into Anaheim, being part of the community, and seeing the guys gather over the course of the summer into the fall. I'm looking forward to touching base with a number of the guys. It's nice to see some friendly faces over here, and at the same time, this is an opportunity that this is where we wanted to go. It was this is the only team that was appealing at that level, but it's amazing how many people were saying this is the place to go. And now that I'm here, it feels even better.
Did any other teams reach out to you or had any overtures to you? And what's your energy level toward getting back into this grind here?
Yeah, as far as reaching out teams, I'm not getting into that process, but I feel very fortunate in the trust that the Samueli family has placed in our family. So thank you. But we're, it's a special place. The time of the franchise is where they're at and where they are today is time, and it just reminds me of Chicago a lot and some of Florida as well. So I've been fortunate to be in some really nice places that were at that stage of their franchise growth, and I'm just excited about being a part of that.